Why would anyone want to live in Indianapolis? Indiana's a flyover state. All there is corn in Indiana. There's nothing to do there. Those things could not be farther from the truth. While there is some truth to them, that does not describe our state and certainly not Indianapolis as a city. I'm Brian. I'm a realtor here in Indianapolis. Thanks for checking out my page. Take a moment and hit that subscribe button, and definitely feel free to share this if you get some sort of value on it. And as always, leave me a comment because I love feedback. I've been a realtor here for 5 years. Prior to this, I was a teacher south of Indianapolis for 20 years. I actually grew up in Illinois, so I do have some background in living in other places. And I want to give you 5 reasons what I like about Indianapolis. There's more than just 5, so those will probably be future videos, but for now, we'll go with these 5. First and foremost, Indianapolis, for me, is a great sports city. That's actually what a lot of people love about Indianapolis is the number of different sports that you have to go watch here. We have competitive teams that people do like to follow. We have a few major sports programs here. Of course, professionally, we have the Indianapolis Colts, the Indiana Pacers, the Indiana Fever. Those are our 3 major professional sports teams. We have some minor league teams as well that do have a following. The Indianapolis Indians has a great baseball field at Victory Field, and they're fun to go watch in the summertime. We have the Indy Fuel, which is a minor league hockey team. We also have a minor league soccer team, the Indy 11. We're attempting to bring a major league soccer team to Indianapolis. We'll see what happens in the future on that one. Of course, we have the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. That's a huge draw. It's still the biggest race in the world with the Indianapolis 500. We still have the NASCAR race that takes place at IMS. There are other races that take place at IMS as well, and they draw fans from all over the world. Not far from Indianapolis, of course, you've got IU or Indiana University basketball. You've got Purdue basketball north of Indianapolis up in Lafayette. Butler basketball has been very popular in the last few years. They're directly downtown. And if you're a Notre Dame fan, it's only about an hour and a half to 2 hour drive north to go see the Fighting Irish. And one of the things about sports in Indianapolis is we do it big. People love coming to Indianapolis for sporting events, especially those that take several days. Back in 2012, we hosted the Super Bowl. It was a huge event, and we still get rave reviews for the Super Bowl that was hosted here. Here in 2024, we hosted the U.S. swimming trials. They actually put an Olympic-sized pool inside of Lucas Oil Stadium. That's a football stadium. They built a brand new pool in there, and they hosted the U.S. Olympic trials. That was a huge hit. Actually set records for most fans to ever see a swimming event here in our country. Pretty big deal. One of the reasons that we're a great place to be is because it's easy to get around downtown. Many of our hotels are connected by tunnels or walkways that go over the top of the street that are covered. And you can get from place to place very easily without ever having to go outside. You're going to Lucas Oil Stadium or over to Gainbridge Fieldhouse or to the convention center or over to Victory Field. All of those are only within a couple blocks of each other. It makes it very easy to get around, and it's a relatively safe place to be when you're downtown. So it's a wonderful place to come see sporting events or concerts or whatever it is you might be coming to Indianapolis for, conventions. We are a great host city, and of course, bringing that Hoosier hospitality. The second reason I love Indianapolis is because it is an easy city to get around in. Now, I grew up south of Chicago, and I remember being frightened to go downtown for multiple reasons. Number one on that list was getting lost. I mean, there's so many one-way streets in downtown Chicago, and it's just gigantic. Indianapolis is a city of about 800,000 people. The city itself is built into a circle, and there's I-465 that goes in a donut around the city. It is a major highway, speeds anywhere from 55 to whatever, and you can get your way around the city very easily. Now, unfortunately, here in the Indianapolis area, we love construction. So sometimes it can be a big pain, don't get me wrong. However, within the city itself, I-65 passes right through the middle, I-70 passes right through the middle. You can easily get to I-74 to get to a nearby city in the distance, I suppose. Getting around downtown is pretty easy. If I want to be, and I live on the straight south side of the city. If I want to get to the north side of the city, so 12 o'clock on that clock in the circle of the city, it really only takes me about 30 minutes or so. Now, of course, traffic can make that different. Construction can certainly make that different. But for the most part, on most normal days, if I want to get from one side of the city to the other, it's going to be about 30 minutes. That's not bad. And it's not only the city of Indianapolis itself that's easy to get around it. The proximity of Indianapolis to other large cities within driving distance is fantastic. We're about a 2.5 to 3 hour drive to Chicago. If you want to get to Cincinnati, it's just under 2 hours. If you want to get to St. Louis, it's about 4 hours. If you want to head over to Detroit, not far past the Indiana-Michigan border on the north end of town, a few hours. You can get over to Columbus, Ohio in about 3.5 to 4 hours. Want to go to Nashville? It's about 4 to 5 hours to drive south. Louisville, just about 2 hours away. So there are some large major cities that aren't that far away. That's really a day trip or a weekend trip, and you don't have to fly there. Number 3 on my list is flight proximity. Now, very similar to what I said about driving from place to place. We're not that far, just a couple hours drive to some major cities. We're in a great location for flying to places. And on that note, the Indianapolis International Airport every year wins awards and gets rave reviews for the airport. It's easy to get in, it's easy to get out. It's a very pleasant atmosphere inside. They decorate the inside atrium area of the airport seasonally or whatever big events are coming out. Actually, when we hosted the NBA All-Star Game, they put a full-size NBA basketball court in the middle of the plaza of the airport. Super cool. When Taylor Swift was in town, they put a piano there, and of course there were decorations for Taylor Swift everywhere, and there are lots of videos of people sitting down at the piano playing songs and sing-alongs just kind of broke out there in the airport. Well, once you get into the airplane, it's not that far to fly because of our central location. If you want to go to New York City or down to Orlando, if you want to go over to Las Vegas or out to California, they're only a few hour flights from here. Now, if you don't want to drive to some of those closer cities, if you want to fly to Chicago, it's only about a 30 to 45 minute flight. Same thing would be true if you're going to Louisville or over to Columbus or something like that. So proximity and flying places from our spectacular Indianapolis airport is great. The 4th reason Indianapolis is a great city to live in, cost of housing. To live in the Indianapolis area is relatively low cost when compared to other large cities around the country. As of the recording of this video, the median sold price for homes in this area of Indianapolis is about $250,000. Now, of course, within the city itself, you're going to find some very expensive homes that run into the millions of dollars. And you're going to find some that are well below the $250,000 mark because you have a wide range of pricing. But on the whole, $250,000 for a home is relatively inexpensive. I've worked with clients from outside the state, and when I tell them what the cost of homes is around here, they're rather flabbergasted. And that's in a good way because homes here are much less expensive than in other areas. Number 5 on my list of things I love about Indianapolis, walkability. Now, I kind of touched on this in a previous reason, but we'll hit it one more time. Indianapolis itself is a great city to walk around in. Some locations around the city are great for walking. We have Mass Ave. Mass Ave is known for bars and restaurants, a very cool nightlife scene. Great place to go, especially on a great day to grab a drink, grab a coffee, hang out outside, or walk from place to place down the block. At the end of Mass Ave, you get to the garage, which has an indoor food hall. There's also pins located nearby. That's a cool place to go and do some duck pin bowling, play games, have a drink, hang out with your friends. It's super cool. Downtown, there's Georgia Street. When we have big events, they'll actually block off Georgia Street. In the wintertime, they throw some heaters out there and make it warm. They actually did that for the NBA All-Star Game here in 2024. Super cool. Great place to hang out. And again, get a drink because there are some bars and restaurants nearby. It's very close to everything downtown, and it's a short walk from one end of Georgia Street, which would be Gainbridge Fieldhouse, The other end of Georgia Street gets you to the convention center and then over to Lucas Oil Stadium. Super easy to get around. Some of our nearby cities around Indianapolis have great walking areas and cool things to do. Up in Carmel, regularly voted one of the best small cities in America, is a great place to be. They have lots of outdoor activities, especially when the weather is nice. Even in the wintertime, they have some outdoor ice skating and a cool winter vibe out there. On the south side in Greenwood, Old Town Greenwood is a cool place to walk around. Again, bars, restaurants. Each month they have some sort of outdoor activity going on to invite the community to partake and have a good time. Same thing as you go a little bit farther from Greenwood south into Franklin. Franklin has a great square area, Old Town Franklin. Everything surrounds the courthouse. You've got coffee shops, you've got bars, you've got restaurants, and a couple times a month they host outdoor activities as well. They also have an awesome amphitheater there. In the summertime, they have concerts outside. You'll find lots of cities around Indianapolis that have events like that. So it's a great small town feel in a big city with 800,000 people. Indianapolis is a great place to live, whether you're a millennial or a Gen Z. If you're like myself in the Gen X generation, perhaps you're a baby boomer or beyond. We have something for everybody. It is a great family-friendly city, and we have a vibrant nightlife for those who are maybe a little bit younger without those kids. If you're interested in moving to Indianapolis or would like some more information, leave me a comment. I would love to provide some feedback for you and answer any questions you might have. If you know of someone else who might be thinking about making a move and Indianapolis is on their list, share this video. I certainly appreciate that. Thanks for watching.